weather right across the whole sector. You can't let things drag on over there, Jack.
Is it a murder?
No, I don't believe so. Walter Jones was already in pretty bad shape. The heart and all the rest of it. So, just a routine, Jack, okay? It's a routine matter, all right? I want to hear death from natural causes, with no stories, you understand? I don't want a crime on my hands right now, seeing my bill of health, understand?
You're the boss, Vic.
Jack?
Of course, I understand.
You're really helping me out here, you know?
Get well, Vic. See you soon.
The weather forecast is awful, Inspector. It's likely to turn into a nightmare in a few hours. Don't drag on. We'll come to get you at 4 p.m.
Okay for 4 p.m. I don't expect to be any later than necessary.
Inspector Norm, welcome to Sagara. I'm Hubert Denault, the attorney, Mr. Jones.
Okay, Mr. Dolan, let's go. I don't have much time.
Are you sure you don't want to take time to settle in? There's a room that's been prepared for you, Inspector Norm.
Unnecessary. If it turns out that Mr. Jones's death was accidental, then I have no reason to hang around here, Mr. Nolan.
I beg you to pardon me for this somewhat acrobatic descent. I had to put this ladder here urgently this morning to access the corpse. Yesterday evening, when I tried to help, poor Walter was stuck higher up in the rocks close to the edge. The waves must have sent the poor man's body rolling toward the bottom during the night. We suffered a terrible storm, you know.
Hello, Inspector Jack Norm. Welcome to your personal police assistant. Jack, this device was created to help you in your investigations. The goal of the software system is to rationalize the combination of clues, evidence, hypotheses, and deductions, which will allow you to quickly uncover the criminals. For this, your personal police assistant will store all information you will collect about the suspects during your investigations. It will remember their age, gender, and function. The incriminating and exculpatory evidence are also made note of. In addition, it will indicate in real time their geographical position in the surrounding areas where you might need to find them during your investigation. The Clue Manager will centralize all of the information that you have collected, whether it includes photos, documents, material evidence, or even suspects' statements. In your hands, you have more than a motive for matching clues that you will have collected. You also have a great tool for comparing them. This function will be particularly useful for validating the match between two prints, two footprints, or even the relationship between two pieces of an object. You can trust your personal police assistant to validate the correct hypothesis and to keep you from being misled into dead ends. This device includes a third function, which strictly depends on the two others. It is your Progress Manager. It divides your investigation into a certain number of precise interrogations, like different pieces of a puzzle. Your job becomes a child's game, Jack. When you know how to respond correctly to all of these questions, you will have solved your investigation.
A nail planted in the cheek. His attacker wasn't light about it. At first glance, the body doesn't show signs of death by drowning or hypothermia. And this injury on the forehead seems too superficial to have caused the death. It's the forensic expert's job now. It's for him to tell me what killed Walter Jones.
What can I do for you, Inspector?
What can you tell me regarding the death of Walter Jones?
In my view, we're looking at a murder. I'm categorical, Inspector. I saw Baina push Walter over the edge. The identity of the culprit is not a matter of question for me.
Where were you and what were you doing last night?
I was at the restaurant with the guests when Walter left for his walk at around 10 p.m. I went back to my office maybe a quarter of an hour or half an hour later. I had to wait for him, as we had agreed upon in the afternoon. Not seeing him come, I looked out of the window, and that's when I saw what could have been a quarrel between Baina Jumhu and Walter at the Tortoise Belvedere. He fell to the bottom, in his wheelchair. I hurried to help him, but it was raining like mad, and I could not go down to the rocks to get him out of there. He was no longer moving. I think he died instantly. I came back to tell everyone what had happened, and I also immediately called the police.
What was your relationship with Walter Jones?
I've worked for Walter Jones for over 20 years. Our relationship was always excellent. In fact, he even did me the honor of asking me to call him by his first name. I admired this man immensely, Inspector. I would even say that I had affection for him, and that this was mutual.
Tell me, did your boss have a suicidal temperament? Or was he in the habit of taking unreasonable risks? Or was he in fragile health? Could it be that following severe medical treatment he suffered from dizziness and fainting spells? What more can I say? You have to tell me everything, Mr. Noland.
No, Inspector. Physically and mentally, Walter Jones was as solid as a rock. He only suffered from a paralysis of the lower limbs, but nothing that could explain this mortal fall.
I'll take note of it.
Is Walter Jones's death accidental? The death of Walter Jones seems to be criminal.
Reeves, it's Jack. The forensic expert's gonna have work. The death seems suspicious. A fall from a few meters that leaves scratches and an embedded nail in the face. It's not all that clear, you understand?
Jack, if it's like you said, I'm afraid you'll have to prolong your stay. Sorry. I didn't want to impose this on you. You have carte blanche to confirm this. Good luck.
What do you say about it, Inspector?
Your boss was murdered.
Well, I guess this list will be useful. It has the identities of all the people who currently reside on the island. And here's the key to your room. Because now I suppose you're going to be staying a while. I remain at your disposition, Inspector. Especially to give you a tour of the tower. It's huge, you know.
Thanks. I think I can manage.
Fine, I'll leave you then. See you later, Inspector.
Ah, here we are. Something interesting. Seemingly, Walter Jones was not alone the moment he had his great fall. The wheelchair made a chaotic journey before falling off the cliff. Walter Jones must have hit himself here, against this rock. I need some graphite powder to take this print. The architect must have some drawing material. I could make myself some. To what does this piece of cloth belong? Even more footprints. There were 2 people following Jones that evening.
I'm happy to see you here, Sonia.
Me too, Lorenzo. It's a pleasure to see you.
I would have preferred that we see each other in other circumstances.
You don't always have the choice.
Did your grandfather's death affect you deeply?
I don't know. I just can't believe it.
I had problems because of him. But they all went away after his tragic death. In the end, Jones was a good man.
Yes, certainly. I don't know what to think.
Would you like to change the subject?
No, not specially. I'm just a little off, that's all.
The sky is melancholic. Like us, Sonia.
It's true. Perfect weather for a burial.